Sir, straight away coming to the question, and that is, sir, ki many of my friends are asking, ki Rajiv Kaushik sir, you are making this video series, you are telling us invest in mutual funds, but which mutual fund should we invest in? Why doesn't sir recommend a few mutual funds directly?
Yeah, that is exactly the question should be that what type of funds we should invest on. Basically, the question should be little more objective is that how to select mutual funds.
Okay.
Because today only when I was driving here, I was watching this particular video, and it was my own research also that in past 10 years there has been no fund in the country which has actually stayed in the top 25% of the funds for 10 years continuously. So there has been no fund. So now it is very difficult to say that now you invest in this because this fund might change its nature by day after. So just saying that which one was better for the last 3 months or 3 years will not serve the purpose. First thing is, which we have discussed before, that which are the categories that we should select for our portfolio. Now we know we only mostly talk about equity because equity is the one which actually gives us returns in short term, long term, very long term. It may not perform in very short term, but it does over a long period of time. So we know that there is one large cap category. First, we should know that there are active and passive funds. So passive funds are the index funds and ETF. ETF, it is difficult to invest as a non-resident because you have to open a demat account, which I don't really prefer that you open. It will lead you to a lot of other problems also. So active funds are the ones which actually are managed by the fund manager every day. So large cap, you can invest in one active fund and one passive, that is index fund. So for example, like I have two passive funds with me, one of HDFC Sensex and one IDFC Nifty. Now index funds will give almost same return, and every company will have two index funds, one for the Nifty, one for the Sensex. You can select any from any company. What you should keep in mind is, if you are selecting the passive fund or index fund, that which one has a less tracking error and how much is the asset under management. So preferably it is good to have a bigger fund of 10,000 crores or something like that. So that is the fund that you should select. Similar is the case if you want to select a large cap. Large cap funds, as of now, it has been seen for last 3 years that they are not able to beat the market. Almost 2/3 of the funds are not able to beat the market because index funds are performing better without doing anything and with a very little expense ratio. So 2 funds from large cap. Then 1 fund you can select from large and mid cap. There are categories like there is Mirai, there is Axis. So from the category, we will share the link from which you can select all these funds. With this video, we will share it. Then we must have one mid-cap fund. This mid-cap fund can be Axis, it can be HDFC mid-cap opportunities, it can be DSP. DSP is not doing so well now, but it has been a very good performer. So we can never say whether it will continue to perform or not perform in the next 5 years. But the main thing is that when we start selecting these funds and investing, we know the way. And if it does not perform, at least we can change. Next comes one small cap. And after this large, mid, small, there is one flexi cap. Flexi cap is a fund where the fund manager has the freedom to invest in large cap, mid cap, small cap, and however much. So one of the best flexi cap in the times has been Parag Parikh. Even Franklin flexi cap used to be good. DSP flexi cap, Axis flexi cap, all these category have. So there is a methodology how you can select. You don't have to ask me. You can yourself select and then see why. Because all these things one should be able to learn on his own. It's a very simple process. It is much simpler than finding the company or stock to invest in. You must look for a fund which has a good substantial asset under management. A large cap fund should be minimum 10,000 crore. A mid cap, small cap fund should be around 3,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 crores. A flexi cap again can be 5 to 10,000 crores. So these are funds which you can invest in. There is one more fund which I like to invest because now I'm in a different category, and it is called a contra fund or a value oriented fund. In this, the fund manager buys the stocks of companies which have a good future but do not have a very good share price today. they are beaten down. So he buys them and keeps it for some time. And when these perform, they perform brilliantly. Apart from these 5, you can buy one international fund. Now, for the time being, RBI has not allowed more than 8 billion to be invested in foreign equities. So most of the international funds are not able to buy it. Only one fund is there, and that is Kotak Nasdaq 100 Index Fund, in which you can invest at the moment. But as soon as this bar is removed by RBI, again the international funds will be able to invest. These 6 funds or 7 funds, if you have in your portfolio, is more than enough to complete your portfolio till you reach a figure of 1 crore. By the time your portfolio reaches a figure of 1 crore, you would have learnt little bit about the market. And you yourself will be able to make the decision that should I add one fund more or increase the allocation into all these. Apart from these funds, one can also buy gold funds. There are gold funds also, which can be purchased. Kotak Gold is there, Reliance Gold is there. You can buy, or through a demat account which you can open from in your wife's name, you can buy a little bit of gold ETF also. Apart from that, I have discussed already that I prefer to, I am not saying I am recommending, but I prefer to buy, or I used to prefer to buy gold bars in physical form. Every time I used to come, I used to buy from the airport, declare it at the airport customs. Whether he gave me a receipt for the customs or not, sometimes he just waved away, but you must insist on paying the custom duty because it is very less. And because it is very less, that's why the custom officer doesn't want to waste time with you. But it is good to have it. It has its own advantages on which we can make a video separately. It is against the advice of most of these financial advisors and everything. But like I said, we are in a separate category. We are in a separate class. And my experience has been different from what all these people they advise. Then when it comes to that asset allocation, I feel gold is one international currency which has lasted for last 5,000 years without change. It is accepted in every nook and corner of the world. Its value, at least in terms of Indian rupee, is always this way. It always goes up. It has never been that it may have stable, come down a little bit from 50,000 to 40, again gone up. So that is another aspect. This is the way how you select the funds. Another part is, apart from asset under management, you should please see at least the data of the fund should be 5 to 10 years. You should not select a fund which has been launched yesterday. You should not go for NFO. This is a very important advice. Do not apply for any fund, howsoever good it may be, under NFO. Because for every category, you have 47 fund houses. And every fund house has one fund of every category. So you have a big history to select from. So buy into a AMC fund which has been there for at least 10 years. Because it has some background, some performance. Am I correct? So this is the way how you can select the funds. I have mentioned few of them, but to construct a portfolio, it is important that a person makes his choice and then discusses this on our Telegram group where other people will also benefit from that. At such time, they must mention what funds they already have, because if they will ask me that is this a good fund, that is an incomplete question. Complete answer can only be given if I see their complete portfolio. If their portfolio already contains a good fund, then there is no need to go for a new fund. So this is what you can tell your friends.
Okay. Sir का एक ही मकसद है. There is only one mission, and that is to make you financially educated. और कोई purpose नहीं है यार. The simple thing is कि please learn, and then you will have to invest your time, your effort, so that you become financially educated, and do not make those mistakes which so many of us are making. Secondly, what I want to add is कि as a seafarer, maybe he will understand you 10 times better than any other financial advisor who is looking for the funds of XYZ people of different communities are doing that. Because he has been himself a seafarer and that's what his mission is. So let's trust and please koshish karen to learn, evaluate, make mistakes, but do not give up and keep investing. Thank you very much. Jai Mata Di.